we actually have an anime girl laying eggs. You don't see this very often. Hi and welcome back to the channel. I'm Steven from X Crew Garni Studio. Today with your weekly figure news fix, this time around 8th to 13th of June 2026. And for this week, we don't have too many licensed genuine PVC figures on pre-order, fortunately, because there are way too much stuff over in the third party section later on, not to mention a new drama, except this is not social media drama. This is something a lot more serious that I have contemplated making a separate second video on that, but after thinking twice, maybe not because I have enough videos to make. So I will try my best to speed past each figure in the third party section later on. Now we shall check out Hobby Link Japan for genuine licensed PVC figures first. And the first one is Tamaki Kosaka 1x4 scale from Too Hot to Yep by Freeing, 36,000 yen, releasing this November. Barely 5 months away. Wow, like Freeing really pumps these things out so quickly. So Too Hot 2 is something of a classic. I think it was you, the Jets Vault, one of the moderators in my Discord server. You were surprised by how there are almost 300 figures of Tamaki Kosaka already listed in myfigurecollection.net. That includes Nandroid's action figures and official GKs. Because this is a classic, she has a loyal fan base, and Too Hot to... I know it is an eroge, a game, but was there an anime adaptation? I think there was, right? Something that is probably roughly 20 years old for the game. And if I were to give an analogy for what kind of character Tamaki Kosaka is, I don't know too much about her because when she was popular back then, I wasn't even collecting figures yet. But I would regard her to be the original, the OG Super Sonico. In a way where she is everyone's favorite One-san, anime girl One-san of some kind, and there were so many fan service figures of her made, bunny suit, school uniform, swimsuit, and so on, and people would eat them up, right? And her popularity declined in the early 2010s, where Super Sonico took over as the next big thing, Big Oppai One-san, until after the pandemic, we saw Sophia F. sharing taking over Super Sonico as the new Big Oppai One-san. Right? That is how I interpret it after collecting figures for so long. And I brought up the topic of where she used to have a 1x4 skill in the past. I thought it was by Freeing, but someone corrected me in my video on in my Good Smile Fest video. You corrected me that it was by Kotobukiya, not Freeing. Alright? It is not like I remember very well. So that was a Kotobukiya Tamaki Kosaka figure, and you said it was a 1x4.5 scale. So there we go. So apparently this is Freeing's very first Tamaki Kosaka figure. For a character like this, a classic. Not really a wise idea to pre-order early, to be honest. But potential bargain bin. Yes. Moving on to the next one right here. This is a quick mention because I covered her on Amiami before. On Amiami, this Moon Witch Police Marshmallow figure by Hobby Sakura was 36,000 yen or so. And as usual with these resin figures by Hobby Sakura, when they end up in Hobby Link Japan, they are very expensive for some reason. The DX version here on HLJ is 53,000 yen, standard 49,000 yen. Don't bother. If you want her, get it on Amiami. Yes. Moving on to the next one. Okay, this is a re-release of N Morikura illustration Santa Girl by Union Creative, 22,000 yen, almost releasing this December. Just in time for Christmas, but only for the Japanese. For those of you, including me, if I were to get this figure and she comes out in December, if it is not early December, most likely you won't get her delivered to you on time by Christmas unless you use DHL, pay up like a boss. Yeah. To me, this is a generic Santa anime girl figure, though there was a H anime where these Santa sisters, they were the presents for the main character. Yep, I would rather have those two girls as an anime figure. So, if you want a Santa figure, a Christmas-themed figure, not a bad purchase. For me, I won't bother with this one. Up next, 1/7 scale. Right, this is one of this week's main highlights. We have Arknights Endfield Prolica, 24,000 yen, releasing in July next year, 2027. So in my Good Smile Fest video, I did mention that Prolica will pre-order open most likely within this week. I was right. Here we are. And I believe I predicted a price of like between 25 to 30,000 yen, right? So I was slightly off over here. When I predict a price, I do not include the Japanese tax. So this one is 24,000 yen, slightly off in a good way. Including tax, maybe 27,000 yen or so. But my predictions are always without tax. Anyways, this is a great price for a figure like this. If you love Prodica or Arknights Endfield in general, I think this is a good purchase. For me, I don't see myself pre-ordering anything from Arknights yet. Yeah, I don't think so. But after release, we'll see. If I come across a good price for one of these, why not? Then that's where I will make an impulsive purchase and unbox and review it. I will keep an eye for her at the moment, but what about you? Will you pre-order? Let me know down in the comments below. I think she looks fabulous. Moving on to the next one by 7 skill, we have Girls Frontline Desert Eagle by QSQ, almost 28,000 yen. Wow, that's very expensive. Releasing in May 2027. So Desert Eagle, this specific pistol over here, I remember it best from my Counter-Strike days when I was in college. One of the most powerful pistols out there, except there were seven ammos in the chamber for each magazine, very few, and the recoil was pretty strong, but you can one-shot someone with it if you're very accurate. That was my experience in a game, of course. I love my lollies, I love this figure, but 28k, no. I'm a bit wary, a bit careful about buying girls' frontline stuff. I could see myself reviewing HK416, but many other GFL characters, I would be more careful in buying them. Yeah, they don't really hold on their value really well. Especially if I were to lose interest in the figure and decide to sell it after reviewing it. I don't keep everything that I review. Around 1/3 of them will be sold off. So with this one, no, I don't see myself pre-ordering it at all, but QSQ is a brand that you can trust. Really great quality figures, pretty consistent nowadays. Up next over here, Uma Musume Pretty Derby Aston Martin. Is she the CEO of Aston Martin? I have no idea, probably not. This is by Alter, March release 2027 for almost 25,000 yen. Nice base. Except it also looks like a bowl my dog, my cats eat from. No, I don't have a dog, but I do have a cat. Looks like a bowl. Turned around, of course. For fans of Uma Musume, this is up to you. You want to collect all of the altar figures, all of the Fat Company figures. I don't think you can go wrong. Most of them are really good. The Claynel ones as well. Kotobuki as well. You pick your poison. So I don't really have much advice to give with Uma Musume stuff because most of the figures out are pretty good itself, regardless of brand. Of course, as usual, with many of Alter's figures from Uma Musume, you get two options to display her. There is a second option where her arms are different. Let me find a picture. Yep. Her hands are different, but guess what? She is a lot more adorable with that plushie in hand. So this would be my option to display her with. Up next, we have this figure over here, which I covered on Amiami last week. She is now available on Hobby Link Japan by Popo Free 1/7 scale Miss Demon World Executive Lydia, 31,400 yen, September release. And this totally reminds me of a very similar figure, but from Azalane by Daiki Kogyo. I don't remember her name. Green hair, black dress, similar sofa, that one. 30,000 yen Azalane figure. Too bad though, this is not cast offable. Yeah. I know nothing about this brand. Very new brand. I know nothing at all about their quality. Up next, okay, wow. 1/7 scale Ruby original character by Boom Art, which is a new brand. Literally my first time seeing this name, Boom Art. low budget figure, 7,400 yen, releasing this December. Will I get one? Maybe. I'm not sure yet. For low budget figures like these, I don't think I have reviewed many this year, like way lesser compared to last year. So these kind of things are more of an impulsive purchase. If I see something that interests me when they are in stock, then I might pick up one. Otherwise, I won't pre-order it too early. Too bad not customable, right? Otherwise, we can get that Kani over there. Moving on to the next one. Okay, Kotobukiya has a few new figures this week. The first one is Stylet swimsuit version from Frame Arms Girl. FAG. I love making that joke. 20,000 yen. It is a non-scale, but the size of the figure is roughly the equivalent of a 1/7. 20,000 yen, January 2027 release. And as usual with every FAG girl by Kotobukiya, they all look kinda hot in their own ways. For this one, obviously, it is the backside, which I couldn't put on screen because YouTube does not like it. Their AI at least does not like it. Yeah. They are good purchases in general. Kotobukiya, you like it, you buy it. You don't have to ask, can I trust this brand? You don't have to ask that, right? They are pretty trustworthy. Next, Kotobukiya figure Alisa Rainford from The Legend of Heroes, 1/8 scale, sadly, because all of the other figures from this game are of 1/8, they need to continue the same size. 22,500 yen is certainly an increase. In the past, the oldest few figures from Legend of Heroes, they were under 20,000 yen, so prices are creeping up. December release. Is this like the original Asuna from SAO, except it is not SAO? There is some similarity, a bit of it. Next, Kotobukiya figure Nakogogo, the King of Fighters 15 version, 20,000 yen December release. Yep, from the Kotobukiya collection event in February. Now on pre-order. Well, I've never played KOF before. I played a bit of Street Fighter, Tekken as well, but never played KOF. So I won't bother with this one. But for the fans of the game, hey, I think it is still dependent on whether you like the character or not. It is not like if that game has 100 different characters, it is not like you buy all 100 characters, right? If all of them are being made into figure, you'll just pick your favorite ones. Yeah, pretty niche figure in my opinion. Moving on to the next one here, a re-release of Pokemon Hilda with Tepic, right? 14,000 yen releasing this November. So with this Pokemon stuff, if you want it, pre-order it. Yes. There's a reason why they get re-released, because they actually sell out, right? Pokemon is kind of an evergreen franchise. It is always popular, no matter when. Yeah. Moving on to the next one here. Okay, now we are in low budget figure territory, and I am a bit surprised by this Firefly figure from Rebo's Rise Up appearing on Hobby Link Japan, because last week it was mentioned that she is an Amiami exclusive, or was it a limited period of exclusivity, which is also a possibility. Some items, they are exclusive to one store for an a specified amount of time, which we don't know. Could be 1 week, could be 1 month, in this case 1 week. Yeah, so you can now get her on HLJ if you prefer for 12,800 yen. I covered her already last week, and I do think Honkai Star Rail fans should get one. Next up, we have Pop Up Rate SP Cutie Honey from Cutie Honey Nova, a bit over 15,000 yen, releasing this November. Alright, so my guess was correct. No, a few days ago in my Good Smile Fest coverage video, I did mention that this Cutie Honey figure, it is classified as Pop-Up Rate SP Special, which is a bit more detailed, a bit more expensive than an average pop-up rate. But what is confusing is that pop-up rate SP can be the normal pop-up rate size, or it can be the L size. And both are being called SP anyway. So going by the level of detail I saw in her outfit over here, I was speculating that this is the size of pop-up rate L without knowing the dimensions at all. I did not check myfigurecollection.net at all, even by today at the time of recording this. But going by the price alone, yep, this could be pop-up rate L size. Like, I'm 99% certain at this point, and that is good news. right? It would be a disservice to make this figure any smaller than that. Yeah. But this is also the most expensive pop-up rate I've seen yet so far. They better make it good. Otherwise, it would be such a bummer. An average pop-up rate L is half the price, 8,000 yen. Moving on to the next one, pop-up rate SP Tsunayoshi Sawada from Reborn. 9,800 yen. Okay, so I guessed this one incorrectly. Once again, pop-up rate Ls are 8,000 yen on average. This being an SP, but 9,800 yen. This could go either way. Could be L size, could be smaller. My bad for not checking in advance because I have way too many things to do. I forget things. But for figures like this, maybe wait until after release before pre-ordering. Yeah. If you want to know the specs of a figure, be it the scale or the size, the dimensions, you just copy and paste the title, the name of the figure here, paste it in my figure collections search engine. You will find all of the details that you want. Yeah. Moving on to the next one, yep, this zombie operate Sua Chow curly from mouth washing. No idea what this thing is. 4,300, 4,400 yen releasing in December. That is a bit expensive because 3 of his limbs are already missing, yet he cost similar to an average pop-up rate. I'm a bit skeptical that this thing looks as detailed as this official picture over here. I'm skeptical about it. Up next, we have Dig. Yep, there's a figure brand called Dig. D-I-G though. Dig Star Bochi the Rock Hitori Goto, 11,000 yen releasing in November. So Dig Star is a low budget line of figures, and I'm not sure what Dig is doing over here because it seems like they're barely trying to sell the figure at all. What is up with these official pictures over here? They look terrible. Like the choice of background they used to pair with the figure as well as the lighting, it is like they shot everything under normal room lighting, no proper lighting at all. These are really terrible official photographs, and they don't make the figure stand out. So I'm asking over here, are you guys planning to take this seriously or not? Like, are we even planning to sell this figure at all? Because it seems like you guys are not trying. Hey, good product photos are very important in attracting people to purchase a product. The size of these figures should be not far off an average 1 by 10 scale. No. Their Digstar JoJo Bizarre's adventure figures, they are closer to 18 centimeters. So maybe this isn't too far. They are non-scale after all, right? So maybe they are standardizing the dimensions rather than a scale. Next up over here, Chibi figures by Apex Toys. Genshin Impact Twilight Whimsy series Chibi Chara figure Chloe. Oh, Klee, not Chloe. This Klee is cute, but I still prefer their older scale figure. 8,300 yen for this chibi figure is a bit much. May release next year, and the last figure on HLJ Genshin Impact Durin Floral Wanderings version, bonus edition, 8,300 yen releasing in April next year. Now we shall move on to Amiami for more exclusive items and also age-restricted anime figures. So the first one right here, Interspecies Reviewers. Wow, I have never expected this anime to ever get a figure at all. Somehow, Maidri is getting a scale figure by Alice Glint. This is an edgy figure. You can cast off the top portion, but I couldn't show the picture on screen, obviously. As well as 2 faceplates. The second horny one is a lot nicer, I think. So this is the most expensive version with Amiami exclusive bonus at 25,570 yen after a small discount, releasing in May 2027. Now this is a unique figure because we actually have an anime girl laying eggs. You don't see this very often. And there are slightly cheaper versions at 24 and 23,000 yen plus, I believe. This is the most expensive one. I'm too lazy to open all of the tabs, right? So I tend to go for the most expensive one because of FOMO, if given the choice. Yes, pick one up if you love interspecies reviewers. I'm really glad to see Alice Glint now doing figures of characters like this instead of jumping onto the slightly more mainstream bandwagon, spamming Nikkei or Azalea. Doing something different over here, I like that. Moving on to the next one, the Amiami exclusive Meido Buso Blade Strawberry on the shortcake version, 1/6 scale by Pink Charm, 36,800 yen, releasing in October, this October. Now, this is a bit surprising for where this figure is on the front page of Amiami, even though the top is castable. But I suppose that in Japan, something is not considered as age restricted unless you can see the yan yan down there. If it is only the chest, only the opai does not count as 18 plus. I think that has always been the case in Japan. Yeah, so that is why she's on the front page over here. This is not a cheap price, 37k, but Meido Buso, I still like the Ami one, that Javelin that came out years ago. I like that one a lot more. Right, moving on to the next one here, Kadokawa KD Call. They tend to be indirectly exclusive, even though there is no exclusivity tag over here, because I've never seen KD Call figures like this show up in HLJ, at least. So this is Dia Kurosawa from Love Life Days, 5th anniversary version, 24,250 yen. There's a good discount over there. 2,700 yen of discount. December release, and this is a proper scale figure. I would say pre-order it if you are a fan of Love Life, and this time around, I would say this is she from Love Life the original cast, or is it from Arcos? I have forgotten. Not the latest Love Life Nijigasaki. The older ones were nicer. So if you want her, pre-order it, I would say. Next up, we have Bunny Set Planning, another Sophia F showing. We had one last week in silver Barney outfit. Now we have a reverse Barney version white edition, 44,000 yen, releasing in November 2026, where you have only two tiny silver objects covering her opai. And that is supposedly normal in anime. I don't know. Yep, castable for the top, which is why this is not on HLJ. November release pretty soon. But given the choice between the one from last week and this reverse bunny, I think I like the normal bunny version better. The one that pre-order opened last week. Moving on to the next one here, Amiami exclusive bonus. Okay, Kadokawa figure, right? KD called Slayer's Lina Inverse light novel non-scale figure. It is a low budget figure, 13,200 yen February release. Slayers is a classic, but I did not really watch the anime. I remember Slayers so much because I had the entire collection of the theme songs from this anime, because I used to like the songs by Megumi Hayashibara back then. I still remember the singer behind the theme songs, Megumi Hayashibara. So that was how I was introduced to Slayers. This one here, what is the dimensions? What is the height of the figure? 16 centimeters non-scale, that is small. That is pop-up grade size, pretty much 1/6 scale. Bright orange base right there. She looks really good at 1/10 scale, though very detailed. I feel like I'm looking at the premium figure. In terms of the quality and paintwork, it better be that. So this just reminded me of the Dorothy figure I published a review of a couple of days ago by Hobby Sakura. That was one of the best 1/10 scales I've seen, and I guess the 8,000 yen price is kinda justified. Here we have a 1/10 scale that is smaller than that Doro figure, but more expensive, 13,000 yen, so she better be good. Yeah. If this one turns out to be better than that Doro figure I reviewed, I guess I wouldn't be too surprised. It better be. Seriously, at this price point, 13,000 yen, you could get a simple swimsuit figure at 1/7 from Good Smile, like Marin Kitagawa. Moving on to the next one here, we are now in age restricted section in Amiami. The first one here, Kuroba Natsukawa Bondage illustrated by Jack Dempa, 1/6 scale by Miyabi. Almost 15% of discount over here. That's a lot. 3,000 yen off. After discount, just under 27,000 yen, releasing in July 2027. Now, this is a figure you buy if you like the artwork. For me, not my kind of figure. This is similar to reverse Barney outfits, just two love-shaped black color objects covering the opai. The entire opai is exposed otherwise. Can't say I am a fan of this kind of design. Yeah. Next up here, this one I really like from Q6. For once, Q6 is making figures of anime girls that does not have giant balloons on their chest. This is more of a normal size. I like that. Miharu no Hajimete Miharu Arai 1/6 scale, 26,000 yen. Releasing in October. Yep, cast off above both top and bottom. You can display her completely Hadaka over here. And this is the normal skin color version. There is a second version. They call it 10 lines version, which is actually quite nice. The 10 lines are not too unnatural looking. She is slightly tanned, not completely dark chocolate brown. You know, some figures, when they do 10th version, I think they overdo it way too dark. This one looks a lot more natural. Something you might actually see in real world where a person is slightly tanned and the bikini is gold color. The sailor part, it is black color though. Well, not a bad color combination. Both are very nice. Tough choice over here, but I might actually prefer this 10th version slightly more. Yeah, I think the colors look a lot more striking. Next figure here, original character by G.A. Masami Delilah, the White Witch. 1/6 scale by Hot Venus, a brand that I always recommend. 40,000 yen, releasing in April 2027. Yep, way too thick for my taste, but I can tell that this is a very impressive figure. The paintwork, the details, the shading. No, I pay attention to the hair and the blue color parts in front. They look very nicely painted. Yep, too thick for my taste though. And the last figure on Amiami for this week, this one I like it a lot. Awoba Umise, illustrated by Ulrich, 1/6 scale. There are 4 different versions actually, but I only opened one tab. The most expensive one is at 38,000 yen, including Amiami exclusive bonus, where you get 2 entire figures, one Hadaka and one partially Hadaka. February 2027 release, and there are 2 versions in between that cost 30 plus and 25,000 yen. I think the cheapest one is actually on the home page, low 20,000s, I think 21,000 yen or so. That one is a safe forward version. You cannot cast that one off. And this is by Party Look, which makes excellent figures, right? So with this character, Aoba Umise, we just had a figure of her by a low budget brand roughly 2 weeks ago. A Chinese brand called Koi Koi Sakura, and that version is an Amiami exclusive. Yeah. Now that you've seen this one, will you keep that one if you pre-ordered one, or would you cancel that one and get this one instead? Though they are not really an apples to apples comparison. That one was 9,000 yen, I think. This is 4 times the price. And our last stop for genuine figures is Ninin Game for Be Full Insights of Fort's Japan stuff. Only 2 figures this week. They are the same figure. The first one is Risa Aizawa 1/6 scale, Languishing Gyaru. 22,000 yen, safe for work version. Nice backside, but can't cast off. This is all you get. And there is a Hadaka version under Insight. 22,000 yen, releasing in December for both. And given the choice, I would choose the safe for work version because, looks nicer, looks more detailed. This is just Hadaka body and not much else. Not to mention, the 10 lines are so unnatural and so weird. And when I complained about unnatural looking 10 lines earlier, this is the best example of that. It looks weird to me, very weird. Yeah. So that would be all for genuine anime figures on pre-order this week. Let's move on to third party section, making use of Oz GK, which together with Hobby Link Japan, they are partners with this channel. If you're planning to pre-order or purchase anything from these 2 websites, please to make use of my affiliate links down in the description below, and that's how to support this channel. Also, if you're enjoying this video so far, do not forget to click the like and subscribe button. Right, before I even get into what is new this week, let's go with the biggest drama or news before I forget. So what is going on? There are 2 dramas actually. The first one is something I knew would happen eventually. It happens almost every week. This figure of Rosie Arknights from German studio, which I covered last week already, confirmed to be stolen art. And I saw the post first, on social media. I think it was it on Facebook or was it on X? I can't remember. I think it was on X. And then shortly after I saw the complaint from the original artist, OsGK did reach out to me, and I sent the screenshot to them. And apparently, there is some kind of talk or discussion going on between OsGK and the studio behind this figure and the artist itself. Everything is in Chinese though, and I haven't heard anything yet. So, is a licensing deal on the way? No idea. Or will we end up with the figure being cancelled? No idea, right? But something is going on behind the scenes. So this is my update on this figure for now. The second drama over here, which is something a lot more serious, and you are looking at it right now. Every single Naruto figure has been taken down on OSGK. More like they are still public, except none of you can pre-order or purchase them anymore. Every single one of them has been labeled as fan creation for display purposes only, trying to imply that they're not for sale. This is like fan-made stuff just for display, just to show off to the public. They're not selling or taking orders for it so that they don't get into legal trouble. So while I have not clarified anything from OSGK, they did text me last week telling me to take down any post involving Naruto stuff, just to make sure I don't get into trouble even though I'm not selling them. I really do appreciate how they're looking out for the people they work with. And this thing you're seeing on screen has been happening since last week. Now I need to share it with everyone. Yeah, it is not only Naruto stuff that is being affected over here. From what I'm aware of, Dragon Ball stuff are also being taken down, but in a different way. So, Naruto, Dragon Ball, and what else? Death Note. I can't remember which studio was behind Death Note. So they put this figure of Misa Amane from Death Note on pre-order just like 24 hours ago, I think, by A&M Studio, $291, 1/6 scale December release. To me, this looks like a One Piece character being made to look like a Death Note character. At least it feels that way to me. But anyways, what they've done over here is that they have removed any mention of the word Death Note or Misa Amane. They put a censorship over there, just A&M Studio. However, you can still add the item to the cart and check out. You can still pre-order it, right? So I think they are trying to make these figures not searchable. But if you go through page by page, page 1, page 2, page 3, they are still visible, just without the words Death Note or Misa Amane. And the funniest part is down here, the origins of the character, they call it YMCA, whatever that means. And the origins from Death Note, they have changed it to Chinese culture, which is hilarious. Chinese culture. And the second Death Note figure here, which I thought was amazing. This is like the best looking Death Note figure in years. In the past 5 years, if not longer. This Misa Amane looks fabulous. You can still pre-order it if you want. This is beautiful. By Palm Flame Studio. But yep, they censored anything related to Death Note, and once again from Chinese culture down here, $246. The dimensions are close to 1/6, even though it is non-scale, no release date yet. The next item, yep, every single Marin Kitagawa figure are indirectly being delisted on OSGK. Seems like Cloverworks is unhappy. I don't know. This one is by Eterna Studio. Catgirl Marin Kitagawa, $199 at 1/6 releasing in December. And here we have another nicely done third-party Marin Kitagawa figure. Face is perfect. No complaints from me. Third parties are doing very well with her face lately. But censored. Yep. Next, Marin Kitagawa here to be taken down by Miao Yin Fang Studio. Also a new figure, $199, releasing in December at 1/6 scale. Once again, the face is perfect. Very nice. This is very nice. Yeah. So, all Marin Kitagawa figures, not just these two. They are all gone. You need to know the studio name, Miao Yin Fang Studio or what studio, Dodomo Studio, and search for the studio's name, and hopefully you'll come across the figure. If not, maybe try searching for Chinese culture. Maybe you'll find it. The next franchise to get hit. Yep, Free Run. So Madhouse studio staff and also MAPPA studio staff, I believe both of these studios are related. MAPPA and Madhouse staff, they're all being affected, which means not only Freeran, but also Chainsaw Man getting hit. Yes. So this Freeran GB figure here by Popo Studio, $103 GB figure December release is very adorable. Yeah, very cute. And here we have another Freeran also being taken down, being censored. Buff Studio Pajamas version 1/6 scale, releasing in, okay, no release date yet, $106. There are two versions, primary color and different color. Okay, different color is nice. I think eventually Nintendo would come after all of the Pokemon stuff in this website and in pretty much every third-party resin figure website. Next one, yep, Gunnar figure of Freerun by Spider Studio. With Mimic, this is all I can show on screen. $282 at 1/6, releasing in June 2027. Yes, the add to cart button is functional. You can still pre-order it. Weze Sitting Posture GB figure by Mauni Studio, $105, releasing in, okay, no release date yet. Very adorable. Next figure to get hit. Okay, this is one of the ugliest Weze figure I've ever seen, so guess what? Don't bother with it. This is by Yingshou Jiaowu Studio, and the face is like in between realistic and anime style. A kind of face, a kind of composite, which I've discussed before. It is a case-by-case basis. Some of them look nice, this one not so much. $200, you can get her in purple or white dress, releasing in September, this September. Next one to get hit, this is one of the ugliest Makima figures I've ever seen. And this is an action figure which I normally don't cover on this channel. Platinum Silicon Articulated Action Figure Makima by Box Chi Studio 1/6 scale, $244, no release date yet. I don't know if it is the lighting or something, but while this face does look like Makima, something is a bit off, I'm not too sure. Okay, this looks a bit better, but I think it feels like she is staring into blank space. It looks a bit dead. That's what it feels like to me. Yeah. Next up. Okay, that is all for the figures, the new figures that were taken down or censored this week. Now we move on to the next section, which is original characters. The first one here, TGZW Studio Policewoman 2.0 1/4. There are a few versions over here, and I do not want to scroll through because some of the pictures are very cultured, right? Barely wearing anything, so she can go up to $363 at 1/4, which is a really good price for 1/4, releasing this September. And I do wonder how many people buy stuff like this. Some no-name character from a no-name artist who is gonna pay Who's gonna pay almost $400 for one of these? I'm not too sure. Yeah. The next original character over here, Fixed Cast Studio. Oh no, this is not an original character. This should be in the game character section later. Anyways, Fixed Cast Studio Draculina swimsuit version from Last Origin International, which is a mobile game. $199, micro bikini, and that is all you get. No cast off, and this is a 1/7, which makes me think this is 99% possibility a recast, right? It is Fixed Cast Studio. They have a long track record of doing recast. This could be one of those. Alright, releasing in September 2027. That is more than a year away. For those of you who love big melons and thick girls, this is about the maximum I can tolerate for how big the melons can be on an anime figure. Moving on to the next one here, another original character, which means it is licensed. We have Milky Jormungand Shake It Off 1/6 scale. $187, we get a vampire, which is Hadaka, almost. Releasing in June 2027. Okay, so this figure reminds me a bit of an original character figure by this artist. God, I can't remember the name. I reviewed it on this channel. Together with the snake, reminds me of that character. Very nice, but not exactly my type of figure, I guess. $187 is really cheap though, and no, this has nothing to do with an anime of of a similar title, Jormungand. That was a great anime though. Up next, we have MMC Studio Tomi Kawakami from Junji Ito manga. More like manga character, right? Not original art. But anyways, there are two different versions, black or white color dress, $499 each. At 1:4 scale, no release date yet. And this is the picture we have currently. The face looks beautiful, very nice. But this kind of gothic Lolita with a bit of dark fantasy elements, not exactly my kind of aesthetic when it comes to collecting figures. But I can still appreciate all these details over here. It looks incredible. Recently, Good Smile Company announced a Junji Ito figure, right? But that was a normal scale, 1:7, I think. So they probably saw how popular it was among people on the internet, and then they went out and make a third party and differentiate from that one by making her a 1:4. I think that is the most likely scenario. But if you were to ask me, is that even possible to do everything like from zero, from scratch? You come up with a new figure like this within 3 or 4 days? Is it possible? Yes, I think it is possible. I mean, the Chinese, don't underestimate them. You see how the Japanese, when they develop a new car, they spend 5 years, 7 years to develop a new car, a hybrid or an electric car, and then the Chinese do it in 2 years. Yes, which is why China is overtaking Japan when it comes to electric cars. Same thing. And I remember seeing this interview video, was it on YouTube or on social media, where they interviewed this guy from BYD, electric car company in China. How do normally the R&D process for a new car is like 5 years or something. How do you guys do it in 2 years? Is that even possible? And then his reply was, in China, 2 years is considered a very long time. So they have completely different standards when it comes to what is considered too slow or too fast. What is the expected time frame to get something new out? So I wouldn't be surprised if a similar concept, a similar mindset or work ethic we see in electric cars is applying to the rest of the industries in China, be it smartphones, computers, or in this case, anime figures. It is very likely that they can get things out so quickly compared to anyone else. Yeah. So back to topic over here. Should you pre-order it? Should you get it? I guess that if you like the art enough, maybe, right? But $500 is a lot. Now we are hoping that they don't mess up the face of this figure. This is the CGI render they have from the looks of it, and this is a close-up look of the face, which I think looks amazing, but whether the final figure will look identical to this remains to be seen. Moving on to the next one here. Okay, we are now in anime characters section, anime and manga characters. Splits K Studio Nico Robin from One Piece, $126. There are two different versions, octagon based or rock based, right? Yep, I would take rock based any day. I prefer dioramas. No release date yet, but this is a very cheap figure. Alright, looks like her. Definitely looks like her. The paintwork on the blue color shirt is very nice. There's some shading. Yeah, typical low budget resin figure from One Piece. Next up, also from One Piece, we have Boa Hancock. Except this is a life size. I haven't seen this in a while. It has been some time. So this is 2,200 US dollars at 1:1. Yep, life-sized plastic waifu releasing this December. Just that, does this look like Boa Hancock to you? To me, not really, not that much. Yeah, so this is up to you, I guess. I have a life-size waifu, though I did not pay for it. If you ask me, will I ever buy one with my own money? I am 99% certain no. Yeah. Okay. There are better things to buy with $2,000. Moving on to the next one. Okay, we have more Evangelion stuff as usual. The first one here, Tsundere Asuka from Evangelion by Qingyan Studio. $199. That is very expensive. 1:6 scale releasing in September, this September. If you tell me this, we are only getting the figure and nothing else, $199 is way too expensive. Okay, this is what we're getting. Yeah, it is a tad bit pricey because this is a simple figure. Even if all these props, I am expecting 160, 170 bucks maybe, not 200. Yeah. Face looks good, but this is like the classic Evangelion we see, the version from year 1995, the art style. Next up, we have Feng Yeshe Studio, Asuka and Ray. Okay, can get both for $361 if you buy them separately, $199 each. Yup, more expensive, of course. And now we have only, is this CGI? I couldn't zoom in. Okay, this is the 2D art. I feel like I'm looking at CGI. Like the face is way too dark, right? This looks like a render to me. Yes, it is a render. Unless you're telling me that the entire figure is painted in 2D paint style, then that could be pretty hard to judge. There is a likelihood this is 2D paint style. I'm not too sure because they did not mention anything over here. Yep, nothing mentioned in the descriptions below either. Up next, we have another Asuka 1x4 scale by Lyra Studio. This is very nice. $348 December release. Now, this is... Now, I would not mind having this Asuka. This looks incredible. Diorama base, but not something too cluttered, too big, too messy. This is just nice. I like that. And jacket included. Why are you guys showing only half the face? But, well, looks like her, right? No problems over here with the face. Oh, shading and battle damage. I love that. Okay, this is a very good pre-order actually. Next up, okay, this is a quick mention. This is from last week where there was no price or release date yet. Now we have a price for this Roxy Migurdia figure, $246. Face is cute, but I think it was a bit different from what we see in the anime, right? 1x4 scale, $246. That is one heck of a bargain. Unfortunately, we don't have pictures of her lower body yet. Yeah, nothing has changed. No release date either. We only have a price. Up next, we have Cosmic Creations Linkage Incarnation, which is like Chinese anime, by Yue Kui, 1x6 scale action figure, $265, releasing in September 2027. More than a year away. Seamless action figure, this looks incredible. Though I'm always wary of seamless action figures because who knows after a few years whether the polyurethane skin material will, whether they will crack open or not, right? If you pose the figure in a very extreme pose, yes. I'm very afraid of these flexible materials in general. I'm very skeptical about their long-term durability. But outside of that, this looks incredible. Is this licensed? It is not. Oh, it is licensed. Okay, I missed that just now. That explains why it looks so good, right? It has to be licensed. Alright, moving on to the next one. We have a few Gunner figures, which I couldn't show much. Spider Studio again. Megumi Kato from Sae Kano. Yep, missionary position, except I couldn't show the front view. You can already imagine what it is like. And there are two versions, short hair or long hair. Even though by the end of season 2 and in the movie she was in long hair, I believe, I still prefer Megumi Kato in her short hair we saw in season 1. So that would be my personal pick. I think I recognize her better that way. $244 is just right for a 1x6 scale like this, releasing in June 2027. Up next, we have Mizuhara Chizuru from Rent a Girlfriend by Crown Studio. They are known for making Gunner figures like this. $263. There are two versions, the normal face and also the Ahegao face with pregnant belly. Yep, typical. December 2027 release, 1.5 years away. So this is a picture where we need to show it to Kazuya. Wait, is the name of the main character Kazuya again? Yeah, I need to show this to him so that he goes full on depression. No comment. I've seen so many figures. No comment. I've seen so many figures like this already. I'm already like completely desensitized at this point. Next, Gunner figure, we are not yet done. Okay, this one is not that obvious. Pure Crush Studio Takanashi Rika from Love and Chuni Bio. Yep, Kyo Ani anime from about a decade ago. I did watch the whole thing. You can have version A, which is the picture you're seeing on screen, for three. No, version A is going for $246. Version B is $199 if I remembered correctly, because she is just completely Hadaka, and version C, $372, you get both. So this is indirectly cast offable, except you're buying an entire figure. So it is also a Gunner figure, releasing in December as well, December this year. So the face is pretty nice, pretty accurate. And Pure Crush Studio, I've seen this name many times. I think I need to get my hands on some of the actual user pictures to see whether their figures are any good. But this name has been around for some time. Moving on to the next one, this is not very impressive. Mieto's Craft Studio Subasa Hanekawa from Bakemonogatari, $226 at 1x6, no release date yet. This feels like looking at a fan-made GK figure that cost maybe 15,000 yen. This is not worth $200+. Like, detail levels are lacking. In fact, I would not be surprised if you told me this is a price figure. I'm sorry. What's the name again? Mythos Craft Studio. But this one is not very nice. Or maybe it is not to my taste, no? I like more detailed figures. Moving on to the next one. Okay, we have Prime 1 Studio, Guns O Reika Shimohara, licensed and 1x4 scale, and this is exceptionally cheap for a licensed 1x4. $799 for the bonus edition. That is considered low, right? For something like this, the standard version is $649, but you go all out just to make sure you get every single part. Looks pretty good to me. The release date would be 2027 June next year. I don't think it will come out on time though. And I feel like a lot of the 1x4s by Prime Studio, they should make a 1x6 version of it. And if they're trying to make some money, like don't pre-order open both. You pre-order open the 1x4 scale first, and after you release that, you re-release the same thing in 1x6. Yes, because if you sold the 1x6 scale first and people bought that, and then you release the 1x4 version, people look at the price, they will be like, no, I'll keep my 1x6, right? So you sell the more expensive version first and then you reveal the cheaper version later on. This is a very common trick in the world of cameras, which is very relevant to me as a content creator. Camera brands, whenever they come up with a new generation of cameras with the latest technology, they would release the flagship first, the most expensive one, and then the slightly lower tier models, the mid-range and entry-level models, will follow suit in the coming years. Yeah, they sell the most expensive one first. Moving on to the next one. Okay, so this is the main topic for the third-party resin figure section today, including the drama thing earlier involving licensing. So this anime right here, Smoking Behind the Supermarket with You. I saw how it went viral on social media and people were giving it a 10 out of 10 score. It got me curious, and yep, I downloaded the whole thing, the whole 6 episodes, and I binged all of it in one single evening. So my take on this anime, I enjoyed it a lot. I do like it, but is it something worthy of a 10 out of 10 rating? No, it's not. It is more like an 8 out of 10. Yes. But I never trust reviews and ratings on anime sites anyway. My take on this is a maximum 8 out of 10 anime, which is still very good. As for this figure over here, Sasaki and Yamada, where is Tamaya? Yeah, the same person, I know. So, among the few smoking behind the supermarket figures we're getting this week alone, this is probably the most anime accurate one, the most loyal one. $348 for 3 figures at 1x6 is one heck of a bargain. The price is lower because they are simple figures, but no release date yet. And this is the only one where they have this supermarket version of Yamada over here. These trio of figures, they need a low budget figure version, like exactly the same pose, the same combination, maybe pop-up rate L or something like that, Tenitol as well, that would be amazing, right? They don't have to go out and make a premium scale figure for this one. This is incredible. So you might want to look into this one. And then the second version here, which I don't really like, Galaxy Studio Yamada from the same anime. So this one is pretty much Yamada in a bunny suit. And I feel like this is a combination of a bunny outfit and also the blue jacket from Power in Chainsaw Man. Did she have a blue colored jacket in the anime? Yeah, I think she did, right? Okay. Anyways, she looks nice, but my problem with this version of Yamada seems like the face is slightly off. It somehow resembles her a bit, yet at the same time does not look like her that much. I've looked at her from all different angles, and the only reason why I could recognize that this is Yamada is because of the yellow color crate she's sitting on, which we saw in the anime as well. Paintwork is beautiful. We have color gradient, we have shading here, the texture on the coat, and also, yeah, the gloss on the shoe. Everything looks nice. Just that I'm not sure what to feel about the face over here. There's a bit of Makima in there as well, and I am not the only person saying that, because there has been so many memes about how Yamada is the Timu version of Makima from Chainsaw Man. Yes, I do see the resemblance myself, especially when she is in this bad girl form over here. The third one here, this one is probably the most the one that went the most viral on my X on my Twitter when I posted it, and some people were complaining about how her oppai is too big, which is something third parties do all the time. So no comment from me, like duh, third parties love doing that. So this is from Mochi Studio, Yamada, $284 at 1x4. One hell of a bargain over there. 1x6 scale can be had at $178 only. Now this one, when I saw this figure, yep, the thing with the face over here, I saw this figure going on pre-order first before I watched the anime. That is the context over here. So when I saw this figure for the very first time on OSGK on day one of pre-order, I thought that is this supposed to be from the new viral anime? Because did they get her face right? I was asking myself, because she looks like Makima. And then I went and watched all 6 episodes, and then I concluded that yes, this does look like Yamada. But yes, there is also some resemblance to Makima. Right. So I have concluded that this face is fine. She looks nice. And I love this small touch they did on this crate of beer over here. Instead of making it bright yellow and clean like in the anime, they made it rusty, which means more detailed, even though it is less anime accurate. I don't mind that because I like details. As for Oppai, well, it is slightly upgraded over here, but not too bad, I guess, because in episode 1 itself, Tamaya was describing Yamada, the same person, as having a big chest, right? A big melons on the chest. But how big is it actually? Nobody knows. So this one is the second best figure over here in terms of which is the best Yamada figure, or which is the best smoking in the supermarket figure. The trio of figures earlier, it is the last detailed figure, but it wins for me for being the most loyal, the most accurate compared to what we see in anime. This one is in second place easily because of the amount of details there are on the figure. Meanwhile, everything else, the chest or even the beer crate, that is up to you whether you can accept it or not. Yeah. All 3 are pretty good figures, including the bunny girl earlier, but 3 figures alone this week. I wonder how many we'll get next week. Right, moving on to the next figure here, also by Mochi Studio, we have Your Forger from Spy Family, $293 at 1x4. 1x6 scale is available at $199. Price is pretty reasonable. December 2026 release, and the face on this Your Forger, perfect. 10 out of 10, no complaints over here. Now you have a battle mate outfit with a katana. There isn't a single thing I would change over here. This looks incredible. And also, coming from Mochi Studio, we have Makise Kurisu from Steins Gate. I wonder why there are so many Steins Gate figures lately. Is it like a new anime is coming? I think it is, right? $284 at 1x4. 1x6 is $178 December release. And this one is excellent as well in the face. Now, Mochi Studio is a very new studio. They only had 2 or 3 figures on pre-order prior to these 3 figures today. So nothing much is known about this studio yet, but yet every single thing they put on pre-order this week, they look perfect in the face department. So I am having high expectations now. I hope that they don't disappoint me. This is like genuine figure level of sculpting in terms of how accurate, how loyal it is to the actual character design we see in the anime, right? I like it a lot. Next up over here, another Makise Kuiso by Cute Creator Studio, $284. That is the high edition, including the chibi Makise Kuiso figure here and the base, which is the one you should go for. Low edition is figure only and a simple plastic base at $226. Nah, go high edition easily, right? So this Makise Kuiso is also very nice. Face is good as well. I think I like the one by Mochi Studio a bit more earlier, but I really can't fault any of them. Both of them look equally good, right? Just pick a favorite one. And the third Makise Kuiso figure here, this one is from last week where she was on early bird pre-order, no price, no release date, and barely any pictures by Quiet Art Studio. Now we have everything. Price is $311 at 1x6 scale because of the base and December release this December. So Quiet Art Studio is a brand I brought up many times where I say that they make excellent figures. There are so many user pictures of their figures out there, and they occasionally collaborate with Hera Studio, which is just as good. So this one reminds me of some of the official illustrations of Makise Kuiso by Hyuk, right? The artist Hyuk. Yeah, there's a lot of Hyuk art style vibe over here. So it is a different feel compared to the other two. The other two has that anime adaptation feel to it. So this is up to you. I like all 3. I really don't know how to choose. Yeah. Next up, Chiyuan Jiawu Studio. Are they related to the other 2 studios with the same name? Partially like Jiawu Studio. What else was it? Anyways, Kotori Itsuka from Date Alive in plain white swimsuit, not very attractive, but at least she is cheap at $136, and she looks very embarrassed over here. Yep, additional points to that, but I wonder if the face is a tad bit too reddish. I'm not sure how much pink, how much red is enough. Releasing in December, 1x6 scale. So this is something I probably wouldn't even bother. Even if I'm assuming I'm a big fan of Date Alive, because and that's assuming that even if I am a big fan of Date Alive, simply because plain swimsuit figures like this are not my thing. The more I look at this figure, the more it reminds me of a very similar character in terms of design. Aria from Hidan no Aria. I don't know how many of you are old enough to remember that anime. Yep, another tsundere character, Aria. Up next, what do we have here? The Moon Studio Madoka Higuchi from Idolmaster Shiny Colors. 3 versions over here. Black Stockings version, the one that's seeing on screen. 174 Barrel Leg version. 168 half sock version. Okay, normal socks. 168. I'll take the Black Stockings version easily this round. Goes really well with the outfit she's wearing. Yeah, and the face looks pretty good as well. Release date would be September, this September. Moving on to the next figure over here. Okay, Tentacle Studio. I believe there was another studio who made the same exact Prisma Ilya figure, but I can't remember the name anymore. Was it like ZTR Studio or something? I can't remember. This is the same exact face, the same exact pose and everything. 1x6 scale, $282, releasing in June 2027. That Ilya with a Mesugaki face, I think that version pre-order opened 2 weeks ago by a different company. But the tentacles here look really good in terms of the paintwork, the shading. I like that. CDK Studio and PG Studio, we have Saber from Fate Stay Night. Evening gown version, $229 at 1x6, no release date yet. Face inspection. Okay, the face looks pretty nice. There is some resemblance to Violet Evergarden. Like this specific saber by this studio looks a bit like Violet Evergarden even, which is why the saber joke exists for that anime. Moving up next, we have another saber here by Mambo Studio to $82. No scale, it is non-scale, June 2027 release, but the dimensions would be 28 cm, quite close to 1 by 6. A low resolution picture. I want a closer look at the face, but I couldn't. Yeah, I can't zoom in. This looks pretty good from this distance at least, but I want a closer look on the face if I can. Going by the way the figure was sculpted, I kinda suspect this is a recast. Kinda, right? I'm just going my gut feeling over here. Next up, okay, this is my favorite Fate Stay Night figure this week. By Sea King Studio with Saber, Autoria, and Arquate Brunestad from Tsukihime. $365 for a pair is great price, releasing in December. This is a 1 by 6, so Saber is Tsukihime's pet. Sounds about right. Right, Arquate is one of the most powerful characters in the Type Moon universe, I believe. So, sounds about right. I kinda want this figure myself. Like, this is quite a throwback to the good old days of Type Moon. It is kinda sad to see FGO dying, right? Type Moon will always be something special to me. Yeah. The face sculpt on both looks pretty good. Both Tsukihime and Saber look pretty accurate. Some of the best faces I have seen. When it comes to third-party Saber figures, you guys know that I am very unhappy with a big number of Saber figures by third-party brands. Not many can get it right. This is among the best I've seen. And what about Arquate? Is there a close-up face? Yep, there is one over here. That smug face. Perfect. I love it. Wow, this is one of my favorite figures this week. Right. Absolute favorite this week. Moving on to the next one, Fixed Cast Studio, probably a recast. We have Gen Alter made version from Fate Grand Order, $199, releasing in September 2027. I feel like I'm 100% certain this is a recast. I feel like I've seen this somewhere, not to mention it is 1 by 7. I already have the Alter figure of her, and that is all I need. I don't need another Gen Alter figure. Next up, we have, okay, we are now in game character section, more like a mix of game characters which also appeared in anime adaptations. So Silveria Bless from Valkyria Chronicles, it is a game, but there is an anime adaptation long ago, more than a decade ago, and I watched the whole thing. I love that anime actually. So this is by XP Studio, which is good news. They make good figures. 3 versions over here, but I can only show one version on screen because the other ones are way too cultured, like almost similar to Reverse Bunny outfit, so I couldn't put it on screen. The face here also looks decent, looks like her a lot. And as for figures of Silveria Bless, we did have a few. That was many years ago. I think Alter has one. Q-Skill also made one, I think. Amakuni, I can't remember, but there were a few back then. Next up, Gale Studio, Amane Tanikaze from Tenshi Souzo Reboot. Heard of that before, but not really sure what game it is. $244 at, okay, no scale, non-scale. Okay, June 2027 release. What is the height? 24 cm. Okay, this is like 1 by 8 scale, way too small. You need to factor in the base, right? And the backdrop. The whole thing is 24. This is 1 by 8, not 1 by 7. Okay, the figure looks a lot nicer than I expected. Now from a distance, it looks like a low detail price figure. Then I zoom in. Okay, this is way better than I expected. And everyone loves JK Panso, of course. Next up, we have NTR Studio. Yep, they make Guna figures. So you have Pyra and Mitra lifting their legs and you can cast it off. A set for $392 at 1 by 6. Good price over there. Releasing in June 2027. the face on this pair of Pyra and Mitra figures, they look okay, right? Not every single figure of them look good to me, and the realistic face one are even worse. I don't like the realistic ones by brands like PA Create Studio. This one is okay, still okay. Moving on to the next one, we have Tri-Eagle Studio Ecocalypse Demonica 1x4 scale licensed. This is an early bird pre-order, no price or release date yet. And she looks incredible, but if this is too pricey for you, get the Any Gift 1x7, right? Which I nominated as one of the best of last year. The Ecocalypse figure, that was really good. So we are now in game characters section already. The next one right here, this is a really good Silverwolf figure. Opie is just the right size as well. Miwu Studio, Silverwolf. Is this a level 999 version? No, right? That is like the mecha. But anyways, from Honkai Star Rail, version A is the one I'm showing on screen. Yep, that is going for $176. Version B is something cultured. Let me click on it. $164, the picture I'm putting on screen right now. I would say don't bother with this one. Does not look like Silver Wolf that much. Just stick to version A, $176, really good price. Don't have to get both for $286. I think it is unnecessary. Yeah. Release date is unconfirmed yet. This Silver Wolf face is really good, seriously. The next Silver Wolf figure, I can't remember if I covered this last week, by YM Studio, level 999 version, $559 at 1x4, March release. This is massive at 1x4. I think I covered this last week, I can't remember anymore. Now the face on this Silver Wolf, I don't like it that much. Yeah, there's a bit, like the nose and mouth region is a tad bit too realistic, like those realistic face sculpt. The one by Miwo Studio earlier is way superior, looks identical to her. So this one, I'm not liking it at all. Yeah, I'm quite picky about this kind of things, right? $559 for all of this is actually quite reasonable if we look at the size of the figure, of course. Up next, Fixed Cast Studio Kafka from Honkai Star Rail. Probably a recast. Probably. There are two figures over here, which is why the price is $399 at 1x7, and June 2027 release. So that's the one you're seeing on screen right now, the default uniform. And there is also a swimsuit, more like lingerie version, undergarment version. You're getting two figures over here. So this Kafka figure was extremely popular on social media when I posted it for obvious reasons. Though I have to wonder if the Opie is a bit too big. I think she got an upgrade again. Face is perfect. No complaints about the face. Moving on to the next one here is the GN02 Studio Liberalio from Nikkei. $310 at 1x6 December release. Now this one looks amazing. It looks incredible. But guess what? I'm not paying $310 for this. I'll wait for the Good Smart Arts Shanghai one. This looks incredible, I have to say. In fact, I wish that there is a third-party figure company. No, wish that there is a genuine figure company who will proceed to license this same exact figure and make it into a PVC figure. I really wish that would happen. This being ACGN Studio, there is a likelihood of this being a recast, even though this is 1x6. Next, Nikkei figure here by Chenbeng Yinggongjiao Studio, really good studio actually. Anis Superstar from Nikkei, $196 releasing in December. So the funny thing about Anis, right? This one, it is beautiful, but I can't decide if this is identical enough to the to what she looks like in the game. What do you guys think? I still like it a lot though. Anyways, back on Tuesday, Good Small Arts Shanghai announced scale figures. Scale figure of Anis, the new version. Is it the Superstar version? No, TT Star version, right? TT Star version, and there was a Figma of her announced as well. And merely days after that, Hobby Sakura announced that they would also be making one, which is hilarious. It feels like Hobby Sakura is constantly trying to butt heads with Good Smile. Same thing happens to Elec, right? Okay. Anyways, I like this a lot. $196 is one heck of a bargain for something that looks this good, right? And that base as well. Moving on to the next Nikkei figure, yep, Meow Studio, Blank Fortune Express from Nikkei, $313 at 1/6, December release. Really bad timing, isn't it? This figure pre-order opened earlier this week, around Monday, I think, Monday or Tuesday. And within 24 hours, this figure went on pre-order. Good Smile Art Shanghai announced a PVC figure of her. Exactly the same version, Fortune Express version. Bad timing for Meow Studio. Now, let's say if I were to use this figure as a reference to what she will look like when the actual licensed figure of her comes out later on, I love this so much. And now I'm even more certain that I need to pre-order the Good Small Arts Shanghai version later on. I know that there's a licensed figure of her coming out. Of course, I'm going to support the licensed one first, given the choice, right? This looks amazing. Right. Moving on to the next one here, New Age Studio, Privati from Goddess of Victory Nikkei. Version A is going for $244. Version B, yeah, different hair. And version C, $424. Let me, tiny pictures. Okay, so is this really Privati or is this just Miku pretending to be Privati? I'm not too sure. Just like how Mast is actually Hosho Marine pretending to be Mast. Anyways, yeah, this is the other version where she has buns on her head and a shy face. I just couldn't shake off Miku's face in my head. Like, I keep imagining that this is Miku. Moving on to the next figure here, we have Cinderella from Nikkei by Naicha Studio, $198 at 1/6 scale, December release. Now this one is a bit bland, a bit boring to look at. This is similar to the Glass Princess outfit, right? Where there is a scale figure of her on pre-order, I think. I would get that one. Yeah, so this one is not very attractive compared to the other Nikkei figures this week. Next up, we have Miyin Studio, Zhuang Fangyi from Arknights Endfield. Another third-party figure that went viral this week on my Twitter, on my X, this one right here. There are two figures of her, I think, both went viral. $199 at 1/6, releasing in December. Okay, that is a good price for 1/6. Face looks okay. Yep, it is beautiful, no complaints. Yin Studio makes so many third-party resin figures. They have been getting better. So this could be a good pre-order. And the next figure is XG Studio Monster from Arknights, $263, releasing in March, 1/6 scale. Okay, so Monster, we have the Apex Toys one on pre-order, right? And we also have, was it Alter? There was another figure of her as well. Or was it Furio? I can't remember, man. Anyways, I like the Apex Toys one the most. So this one is a bit of a tough sell in my opinion. Nothing quite wrong with the figure, but I think the Apex Toys one is a bit more attractive. Moving up next, we have this figure, which is really weird. Fixed Cast Studio Hayase Yuka Bani version from Blue Archive. Probably a recast, 99% a recast, 1/7 scale, releasing in March 2027, except it does not have a price yet. Yeah, and you can't pre-order it as well. So this product is currently out of stock and unavailable. Pre-order opened on Monday of quite a number of days ago. And since that day one, there were no prices or release date and nobody can pre-order it. So why even list it? I have no idea. It is a bit weird. Not sure why. Just a bunny girl. So, nah. Too common nowadays. Up next, we have Meow Studio Amao Ako from Blue Archive. Did I cover this last week? Man, I keep mixing up things because there are so many third-party figures. $248, 1/7, releasing in September 2026. I feel like I covered this last week, right? I covered up her butt with a cat, right? Yeah. Face is nice. Face is very accurate, but probably a recast once again. Next up, okay, Ripple Studio Golden Lure from Azalane. This one also went viral on social media when I posted it, despite the fact that Good Small Arts Shanghai has announced the PVC figure of her already, but that one obviously isn't customable. This one is. So there's still a reason to get this figure over here. $199, releasing in March 2027, and it is a 1/5. That's a great price for a 1/5. confirmed Gunnar figure, and the face looks fabulous, right? Just that Ripple Studio, I've never heard of them, so there we go. I know nothing about this brand. Moving up next, okay, this figure is a bit weird. We have only 2D illustrations, not even a 3D render or model, but they are taking pre-orders with a confirmed price and release date, which is weird. Version A Denia. Okay, the price is not yet confirmed, my bad. This is not final. $369 here. I think the actual figure is probably lower, maybe low 300s, right? 1/6 scale, March release. Now, this is a beautiful piece of art. I hope they replicate it faithfully. This is very nice. I love that smart face. And there will be this available as an option as well. Okay. Next up. Oh yeah, it was this figure that went viral. I confused this with the other Arknights figure earlier. Okay, Ye Shun Guang from Xander's Zone Zero. This one was very popular as well. And yes, cast-offable. By Dawn Studio, you can have her at 1/6 at $199 or 1/4 at $293, which both of the price is pretty reasonable. For just only an additional 100 bucks, you can upsize to 1/4. Face sculpt is beautiful. Yeah, and the whole pose of the figure is like very graceful, very elegant. I like that. And the last figure for today is from Lingue Studio, Chixia from Xander's Zone Zero. Chixia or Cixia, how to pronounce that? Okay, this is 18 plus, so she will be cast-offable, though there are no Guna pictures of her yet. So with DLC, we cast off $350. Without DLC, save for work version, only $263. Quite a big price difference. Maybe you're getting an entire separate figure for it. Yeah. Face is okay, but I feel like they upgraded her Opie again. I don't think the actual Chixia is this thick, right? I don't think so. Anyways, that would be all for figures on pre-order this week. So which one will you pre-order early, or which one will you wait until after release before waiting for a bargain bin maybe? Let me know down in the comments below. Until then, thanks a lot for watching all the way to the end. And if you enjoyed this one, do not forget to like and subscribe. Until then, I'll see you guys again soon in a few days. Goodbye.